All right, well, let's go now how about we'll go to Minnesota. We'll talk with Rita. Hi, Rita. What do you got for us?
Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
Good.
Good. I just was wondering what you think about the lost teachings of Jesus.
Okay. Well, if they're lost, I mean,
Well, that's what they call them.
yeah. So if they're lost, then obviously God doesn't want us to find them. Or if you're talking about a publication where they're bound up and gathered, well, there's a pretty good reason that we discard things from the biblical canon. Teachings that come up 300 and 400 years later that have suspicious authorship, suspicious content, and a lack of scholarly integrity, and in fact have factual errors in them. Well, for all of those reasons, they're not in the canon and shouldn't be. And so, we have to weigh all of that because, you're going to find all kinds of fake stuff out there. There's all kinds of documents that were introduced to the church, meaning they were fabricated later, and they just don't have any validity. So, you got the early Christian texts like the Gospel of Thomas. That would be one of the so-called lost teachings. You've got the Apocrypha. You've got a reason that these were not included in the New Testament. First, all the church leaders who got together and decided on apostolic authorship concerning all these documents, well, these didn't pass, and there's good reason for that. They didn't meet the criteria. Secondly, I'd say some of these texts were seen as basically promoting ideas that were counter to the gospel. They were literally the opposite, inconsistent with Jesus's teachings. As you look at some of the Gnostic documents, they presented a view of Jesus and a view of salvation that was different from what the apostles were teaching in the New Testament. So when you're talking about salvation differently, obviously that's not from God. God doesn't contradict himself. So the New Testament, what we have as the New Testament today, it's exactly what the early church believed was inspired and authoritative, and it's also consistent. It provides a consistent message of this new covenant, this gospel that we're saved by grace through faith. No Gnostic ideas tossed in there, elevating the spirit and degrading the body. No Gnostic ideas about salvation, getting to a higher level, a secret level of knowledge, and so on and so forth. No, the gospel's been made plain. And the knowledge we need to be concerned about is the knowledge of Christ, knowing him personally. So I hope that helps. They're if they're calling them lost, then they need to stay lost. But these teachings, such as those in the Apocrypha, they're historical documents. They're a part of history. Obviously, you could study them as literature, but when you look at the Gospel of Thomas, for example, and some others, they have errors and inconsistencies in them. And in some places, they disagree with the gospel itself. So hope that helps. Rita, reach out to us anytime. Great to hear from you.